Okay, the one that comes to mind, the other day I was covering for another employee who was off that day, and somebody came in asking for something, and after working at the co-op for the year, 26 years, and RDO for 7.5, and helping customers and figuring out on the fly what to do, I did that. Now I work for a government agency, and that didn't go over very well because there's policies and procedures and stuff. And I think Sherman County seems to be a little bit more in the public service arena than the rigid policy and procedure area. But I would try to keep encouraging that. And, you know, when I go to the county agency, it's more the public service and trying to help me solve my problem. And I appreciate that, and I think that's something that we've got going for us.
Well, I think probably the challenges are ongoing for me, and when you have an agricultural operation with multiple generations involved in trying to make room for the next generation to come in, it's always a challenge to find enough revenue. I was reading one place where, it's been a couple years ago now, if you're going to bring a family member back in to the operation, you have to generate at least $150,000 more gross revenue to do that. So it's been a challenge doing that. So what we've decided to do is we decided to diversify crops, and we decided to diversify in other things, recreation, organic, barley, trying a new crop of hemp, and we're invested in that project. So that's been the big challenge, and but we've managed to overcome it, and I think at this point, and so diversification. There you go.
So a lot of you may know I actually work full-time for an IT company too. I've done that for 25 years. It's not for a love of technology. It's for a curiosity of problems, and that's what I do, is I fix problems all day long for the IT company. But I do that, when I look on the government side of things, I can take an example like, for instance, the sheriff came to me once as commissioner and said, look, we have to take mental health cases all the time to the Dalles. It takes a deputy out of the county for 4 to 8 hours, and it's just killing us. We can't get anybody to help us. What do we do? So I started searching around, being the chairman of the mental health board. Couldn't get any help through there, so I went to another agency that has the funding for it, convinced them that they weren't giving enough to Sherman County. They went from $18,000 a year to $130,000. It gave us a full-time mental health worker in Sherman County at no cost to the county, and it also gave enough money to the school to hire a counselor if they so wished, to use the money in the way that they felt was best.
My day-to-day job, the only problems I have are if I don't do as my wife says, then I have a problem. As a commissioner, I look in the back, and the biggest problem area we had was a miscommunication with Nate Stelzer back there, and I want to thank you for coming last year, and it was a breakdown in communication, and we opened up the lines of communication, talked. We don't have a problem anymore. So I believe communication starts fixing most of the problems.